I know for a lot of you, a big pain point for keeping your car maintained is probably the wash process, and it might take you quite a long time to do, but that's why we're actually making today's video. This is going to be a video kind of diving into the world of maintenance washing, but how to make it more efficient. Now, over the past 12 years in my professional detail career, I've of course maintained a lot of customer vehicles, but my own personal vehicles as well, and I'm going to share you guys some of those tips and tricks along the way to get your car looking clean all of the time without spending a ton of time. Welcome back to the channel. Let's jump into it. Well guys, thank you all for being here today. Hopefully you'll come out of this video learning a thing or two, or maybe more than that. That's totally cool. But I always like to help you guys become more efficient, more effective, and just enjoy the process of cleaning your car. Because I do hear this from clients and, even comments online that, washing your car just becomes a big pain point for people. And I wanted to make this video to hopefully help you guys a little bit and not spend so much time actually washing your car. Now, you might actually be looking at this car going, from that angle, Colton, this car's not even dirty. I don't know, why are you even washing this thing? Well, I put about 500 miles on this car since I last washed this thing. I've got bugs all over the front. The wheels are very nice and dusty, which is now down the side of the door. I got hit with like a quick spurt of little rain, so there's quite a few little water spots, which, makes a little bit more dust, dirt, and grime. And it's at the point it needs a wash. And that brings me into the first big topic here, is washing your car more frequently. Now, I know you might be confused by that. Well, I want to wash my car less and spend less time doing it. Why would I wash it more? Well, this is the same principle I try and instill at home with my wife. Thankfully, she doesn't watch my videos. Otherwise, I'd probably be sleeping on the couch tonight. But instead of having this big cleanup over, a Saturday and Sunday when we're both off work or she's off work, whatever the case may be of cleaning the house, if you do these small tasks more frequently, you don't have to do these large cleanups. And the same thing goes for your car. I see a lot of people, they just hate washing their cars, so they don't do it. And they just push it back and push it back and push it back. And then it gets to the point like, yes, you are having to do a big detail on your car that's going to take you a full day, maybe a couple of days on the weekend. And it just becomes this big annoyance. But by washing your car more frequently, naturally, you're not dealing with as much dirt and grime. Your car's looking nicer more frequently. And I don't know why this is such a crazy concept to people, but it just absolutely works. Every single customer I feel like that comes into my shop is always like, how does your car look so nice? And it's like, because I wash it. Like, I don't know, you just keep it clean, right? And listen, I'm busy too. I run a full-time detailing business. I work literally 7 days a week. I try and be at home as much as I can with my wife and dogs. And I'm also producing 3 videos a week of content for you guys and trying to maintain all of my cars and trying to maintain all my customer cars. It becomes an ordeal, but you can definitely simplify it down. And that brings me to topic number 2, and that is actually having some sort of protection on your car. You do not need to have a full-on ceramic coating, but having something like a ceramic sealant, a spray sealant, a spray-on rinse-off sealant, anything like that is going to help keep your car cleaner for longer. Then when you do go clean it up, it's not going to be such a pain in the butt. And this comes to the point of like just scrubbing off bugs off the front of your car. Most of the time, if you have protection on there and you get them off relatively quickly, you're not sitting there scrubbing it, which means you're not sitting there adding micro marring and scratches. So in fact, by washing your car more frequently, of course it's going to look better for longer. But in fact, if you're doing it properly, your paint's going to look better for a way longer period of time. Same thing goes with wheels. If you have super soft brake pads on there, instead of waiting, till they're absolutely caked in brake dust and having to break out all this stuff, 9 times out of 10, especially if you coat them, you just need to rinse them down and dry them, and you're good to go for another time until you actually wash the vehicle. And again, don't leave it to be so long. So super big believer in both ceramic coatings, spray on protection, whatever fits in your budget, your time frame, whatever the case might be. It's going to tremendously help. Now, moving on to the next topic here, and that is talking about your setup of washing. And this is something I see a ton of, and I think why we've seen such this huge amount of people using rinseless wash. And I personally think it's down to a little bit of a laziness of not wanting to set up your pressure washer and all of that stuff. I understand the place of rinseless wash. I'm not a rinseless wash guy. I'm never going to use it on my cars. It just doesn't make sense when I have a wall-mounted pressure washer. And that brings me to the topic of a wall-mounted pressure washer, or if you can't afford doing so, just getting quick disconnects on your pressure washer setup. Having the ability to just boom, 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 ready to go, turn the thing on, get washing makes all the difference from sitting there screwing all this stuff on and, you know, having a bunch of leaks and dealing with all that when you can already be probably done with your pre-wash and moving into your contact wash by the time you're done with that. Now, the next topic here is a big one, and that is using the foam, rinse, foam mentality. So either foaming with a pH neutral shampoo first, that is a dry, cool to the touch vehicle, or using an alkaline pre-wash. Now again, this goes hand in hand with having protection on your vehicle. Pre-washes are amazing. They're meant to break down road film, dirt, grime, organic material. So especially on things like coated wheels, all you necessarily need to do is just spray your pre-wash on there, rinse it down, and you don't need to touch them again until they get really, really nasty. It's gonna get 95% of the stuff off of there, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. My wheels are very brake dusty, have some like silt and stuff on them from canyon driving I just did. I'm not going to go through and clean them with an iron remover, a heavy, you know, Adams wheel and tire cleaner like I see everybody use every single time they wash their car. There's absolutely no need for that. So if your car doesn't need it, don't do it. But what also happens with the foam rinse foam is gives us time to do something while chemicals are actually doing another. So when you actually foam on your initial pre-wash on there, that's the time where you set up your buckets. You get your dilution for your actual foam cannon to spray back on your pH neutral shampoo to start washing your car. Don't get that all set up right away and then sit around waiting with your hands in your pockets, walking around the car going, okay, is it time to rinse off? No, that's the time to start working. You're wasting time doing so. Like I said again, a full maintenance wash should take you 30 minutes. Start to finish. The next topic here, and this goes into not only efficiency, but the safety of cleaning of your vehicle. And that is actually using the 1 bucket method. Now, we've gotten crazy over the years using quote unquote the 2 bucket method, which is really the 3 bucket method. The 1 bucket method is really what we're doing here. Of course, it's technically 2 buckets, 1 for wheels. Okay, yeah. The 1 bucket method is essentially having a soap bucket with your soap solution and about 10 wash mitts, wash pads, or if you want to use microfiber, you can use microfiber. That's a very, very big thing. Essentially what you're going to do here, after you've done your pre-wash, you've re-foamed the car after you've rinsed it, you're going to come back in and start your contact wash. I would take a pad like this, go on this panel here, I'd flip it, do the other side of that panel. That one gets set aside. Grab a fresh one, go to the front bumper. Why do we do that? Number one, it's more efficient than ducking it in a rinse bucket, trying to get all the grit out, squeezing it out, going back into here. At that point, I'm already halfway around the car before you've even, refreshed that single wash media there. So that's why I like to do that, and it doesn't reintroduce dirt back onto the surface of the car. It makes all the difference. The contact wash, honestly, for me, takes 2 to 3 minutes maximum. I mean, when you're rolling, you are absolutely rolling with it. The next thing, moving into drying, is using a drying aid. This is going to help with one of 2 things. Number one, it's going to add lubrication to the surface, meaning you are not just dry wiping the vehicle. Now, water naturally does have lubrication in it, but understand putting something else, some polymers, some sort of something in there is going to help, number one, pick up the water, but it's also not going to be as abrasive. Microfiber towels are abrasive and can mar up the surface. And also, if you miss an area, if a dirt drips out of a crack, you're not just scrubbing that back into the surface. So by using a drying aid, you're doing it more safely, but you're also doing it efficiently because those drying aids are meant to leave the surface streak free, so you don't have to come back over it. That is going to save us more time there. The last thing here before we get into our wash process is actually storage and cleaning. And what do I mean by that? I mean, after you've finished washing your vehicle, all of those 10 wash pads, wash mitts, wash towels, all your drying towels immediately go into a washer to get laundered, they get dried, they get ready for the next time. So you're not scrambling, using dirty mitts, trying to make sure everything's ready to go for the next time. It's already ready to go. This also goes for our buckets, making sure those are clean so we don't have to rinse those out before we start washing our car. All those little things add up to time savings, and when you add them up, like I said, you can absolutely do a full maintenance wash in 30 minutes. All right guys, so now time to actually start our demonstration and washing the car here. So the car is in the shade, obviously we're inside here, cool, dry vehicle ready to go. Now we're gonna start off here with our alkaline pre-wash, Lava Cosmetica Premise 2.0. This is safe to use every single wash if you so desire to. 2 different dilutions you need to know with this product. 1 to 10 summer dirt and grime, 1 to 5 winter dirt and grime. Now if you're using a higher flow pressure washer, you can use this a little bit on the stronger side. So I just mix up 1 to 5 for washing. I just don't want to have to touch any of the bugs on here, any of the brake dust, so I'm going to use it at a stronger concentration. Safe to use all the time. Now you don't need to make up 1,000 milliliters typically on this. I only make up about 600. We're just trying to get a blanket on there. This is a very runny snow foam, and that's the whole point of it. Bleed off the dirt and grime off the surface. Same on the wheels. We just want to get good coverage overall. So I've already mixed that up here. Now this is at the same point. If you want to save some time, I wouldn't recommend mixing up your pH neutral shampoo. Just mix this up, get it onto the car, then you can come back and do it. If you do want to set it up ahead of time, that's totally cool. I like using multiple foam cannons just so I have one for alkaline, have one for pH neutral, one for acidic, and then I know exactly where they are. You can see they actually sit up here on my wall like this. They can just snap in. So if you want to mix it ahead of time, cool. We're going to use CarPro Reset for our actual contact wash on this. But now that we've got this mixed up ready to go, you can see the beauty of the wall mounted pressure washer setup. That little thing down there is just to keep the hose away from the car, as I'm way off camera now, is so I can pull this out, not absolutely smoke the car, but very simple here. Can come over to my gun, turn on the water, make sure that's good, turn on the unit, and I'm washing. Takes literally 15 seconds to do. So let's get this thing foamed down. So while this is sitting there doing its thing, now it's time to get our bucket ready to go. So I just threw 8 wash mitts in here. This is going to be our throwaway bucket. We don't even need to fill this up. So we need to get that bucket prepped over there. So we're going to take our CarPro Reset. Sorry, this is very hard to do filming one-handed, just trying to make it easy on you. Am I going to spill? Am I going to spill? Look at me. Didn't spill. So I'm going to do 2 ounces in our actual bucket here, 60 milliliters. So can come directly over here, go right into there, bucket fill. Always super nice to have. We'll let that go. All right, bucket's done now. So we need to do another batch of this for our actual foam cannon. I'm going to go with 70 milliliters in the foam cannon there. Gonna go directly into here, boom, boom. Come back over here. I'm gonna rinse this out because we've got alkaline pre-wash in it. I'm gonna fill it up right to just above 900 milliliters there. We've got our foam cannon, boom, right in there. So you can see now we're all set up with our buckets. We've got our soap ready to go, and the car still very, very wet. So it's doing its thing while we're working here. You can see the bugs already on the front end starting to eat all those away. We're not even gonna have to scrub those at this point, and that's the awesome thing here. So we'll let this sit for just a minute longer, then we'll go in and do our initial rinse. One thing that does make a little bit of a difference on initial rinse is actually, instead of going with a 40 degree, go with something like a 25 degree. It's a little bit more focused on it, can definitely help with some bugs and things like that. It's no more pressure using the same size orifice, but works pretty well. All right, just in that amount of time, we're ready to rinse this off. And I hope you can see there the front end completely bug free. That's the beauty of having a coated car. Using an alkaline pre-wash, I didn't even need to scrub that. These have actually been sitting on here for about 4 or 5 days at this point now. So not looking too bad. We'll just continue rinsing the rest of the car. All right, so wheels here, literally just sprayed on our alkaline pre-wash, looking perfect. I mean, absolutely no dirt and grime there. And that's what we're looking for. Again, testament to great wheel coatings on here, using an alkaline pre-wash to lift away that dirt and grime. You don't need to come in here, detail all these, 95% clean, just like that. So got the rest of the front of the car, all the rest of the car actually rinsed down, 0 bugs in sight, 0 bugs on the windows, all that brake dust that was all over the side of the car, gone. Now it's time to start our contact wash. Okay, so I'm sure you guys can see I have 2 buckets. The one on your right-hand side is our actual soap bucket. So I'm just gonna take a single wash mitt here, go through this half of the hood, stop there. I'm gonna flip it, come to this side here, do the same thing. Then once we get to this point, you can see our other bucket here, boom, that one's done. Now I'm gonna grab a fresh towel or a fresh mitt, come back in here, hit the whole front bumper. Same principles here, brand new. I'm gonna start and I'm gonna split this into 2 sections here. So I'm gonna do this entire door. Now traditionally, you wouldn't wanna go all the way down and then wash that bucket. I would always leave the bottom for last, but that's the cool part with using the 1 bucket method here, is I can come all the way down, flip that over. I've just done the entire side of the car. Just like that, we're good. Can continue on to the back of the vehicle. Now, I'm sure the observant viewer will notice we do still have soap on the top. I have not touched the glass. That's okay. I'm not worried about it with the 1 bucket method because I don't have to be super crazy about washing top to bottom. I'm just focusing on these dirty areas down here, and I can hit the glass last because I'm not reintroducing my mitt into the upper areas. Now we come to the driver's side, same exact thing. Gonna split this into 2 sections here. Come all the way down the door, all the way down the rocker. I'm being very gentle, by the way. I'm not putting pressure on this. We're just trying to lift off any remaining dirt, which there really should be little to none at this point. Now, reality is to get to about this point takes me roughly 10 to 12 minutes per car. I've kind of timed it out before getting everything set up. That's the buckets, getting alkaline pre-wash set up, our actual pH neutral shampoo, foaming both on the car, even letting it sit, rinsing it, refoaming back on. The actual contact wash of this takes roughly about 3 minutes per this car. It is just flying fast. It actually takes me longer set up all the tripod and camera for you guys to actually film this. So now that we're done at this point, we're done cleaning. Now we need to rinse this off, dry it, and we are done with our wash. Again, this is how you can do it under 30 minutes. In fact, the longest part of this is actually in the drying. All the nooks and crannies that get all that annoying water, that's what takes the most amount of time. So let's get this rinsed down. For my actual final rinse here, what I like to do is actually pop in a 40-degree tip, just gives us a wider array, kind of floods the surface a little bit more. I really want to focus on all the nooks and crannies as well to make sure I'm getting all the suds out of there and any missed kind of dirt and debris. So let's get to rinsing. Okay, so after we've got this rinsed down now, it's time to dry. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can dry a car. You can use a car dryer, you can use a leaf blower, you can use towels, you can use a mix of both. I'm a mix of both guy. I like to use towels to get the big initial stuff. Really helps with minimizing water spots as naturally blowing it off. If you miss a couple of areas, get really tiny dots everywhere, that's where you'll see some little water spots there, and then you have to go back over it. So I like to take the Rag Company Liquidators. Favorite drying aid as of right now, Yum Detailer. I know for a lot of you it's not been in stock. I agree, very annoying. Hopefully it comes back in stock soon. So I'm gonna fold this into quarters and I am putting zero pressure. I am just going around this, just picking up the water. Now I just like to have 2 of these. As you can see, I set one right on the windshield. I'm gonna hit all the upper areas first. Go around the car, getting these, just trying to get the most amount of water off the car as quickly as possible. Now the thing to do here with your towel is always to split it into quarters so that you have fresh, clean sides in case you missed any debris, and also it's not going to fully saturate the towel here. So I've already gone through, dried the entire top of this. Just going to come down, work this all into the front bumper. I'm not trying to get this perfect. That's where an air dryer is going to come in to just release the rest of the water here. But looking pretty good. I'll go down the side of the car. Meet you in just a couple minutes. Okay, car's dry, sparkly clean now, except for all the nooks and crannies and the wheels. So you're gonna hold water naturally. You can see all of it in here. That's why I like to come back with something like a blow car dryer. It's also really helpful on wheels to just blow all of this down. Very simple to do, especially around mirror housings, around door handles, around trunk lids, areas like that. That's where you're gonna come in with a blow car dryer. This is what takes the longest part of washing. Drying drives me nuts. I absolutely hate it. Wish there was just a easy way to snap your fingers and be done with it. The washing part's actually the fun part. I enjoy all of that. The drying's annoying because you're just pushing around water, especially modern cars. I mean, they just hold gallons and gallons of water, what it feels like. So I'll show you around a few areas here. But yeah, pretty simple. What I like to do here, go around, hit all the wheels first, then I'll blow all of the other stuff out of the nooks and crannies. I typically like to have a Rag Company Liquidator, the small version, just to pick up some light water. I'm not scrubbing it into the surface because the likelihood around all these nooks and crannies, you will let it get a little bit of grime under it. So make sure you kind of pre-prep that towel with your drying aid so that you have some lubrication going through it. Okay, one area I can tell you guys you are always going to miss, and this is something I do every single time I wash the car, is the door jamb. So I'm going to take our Yum Detailer here, something like a Rag Company Wolf Pack, and I'm just going to spray and mist this down, go directly on here. And I'm gently just going to pick up any remaining dirt and grime. Now, these are something you can absolutely rinse out if you'd like, but very simple like this. Get into all of these hinges here. I'll open up all 4 doors, do all of these, and then our car is completely bone dry, and that is a full wash process. All right, guys, we are finished up now. All the door jambs done, and this car is back to fresh, which is how I like to keep it. And I really hope this video was insightful for you. I know for a lot of you, these videos can be kind of repetitive, but hopefully you picked up something from it on just, setup, on how to think about going through a maintenance wash, areas you can kind of skip here and there. And of course, there's going to be times where I do need to really deep clean the wheels or deep clean the door jambs or go a little bit more aggressive on it. But the whole point here is the more you can keep your car clean, the better it's going to look all the time. I know that doesn't sound like a crazy concept. For a lot of people it is. And I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments who are like, I would never wash a car in that condition. It was like perfectly clean. Like, okay, then don't watch this channel. This is not for you. And I'm sure there's also a lot of people who are like, I could have done that in, half the time with my rinseless wash. Great, that's awesome. I like to keep my car completely swirl free, and this is the way I wash my car. So that is how I do it. Now, a couple of quick things. There are certain times, especially, that I will not do a full wash like this. And it's just when, especially after I wash the car, like let's say I go home tonight, pick up a ton of bugs, come back to work the next morning, what I'll end up doing is just rinse off the front end, use the blow car dryer on it, literally takes 3 minutes in total, and just get the bugs off of it. I don't need to touch them, don't need to spray soap on it, just get those fresh bugs off. Little things like that add up to just making your wash experience, your whole car experience so much better. There's also one other thing I want to touch on, and that is doing touchless washes on these. And what I mean by that is a lot of the times you can get away with just doing a pre-wash on a car, rinsing it down and drying it. But I have one rule with that. I never towel dry a car unless I've contact washed it. Now, that would be the case of, hey, if I have a leaf blower, if I have a blow car dryer, something like that, that speeds up washing even quicker. So if that's all you have time for, great. Absolutely do that, but I never recommend towel drying it. You're just going to have some leftover grit. Even that last 5% that the pre-wash and rinse can't get off, that's why I don't towel dry it. So I like to use contact wash, then towel dry all of that stuff. So at this point now, my towels, my wash mitts are going to go directly into the washer. I'm not going to rinse them out. I'm not going to spend any time doing that. Directly go into the washer, P&S rags to riches to make sure these things are staying fresh. By the time I get to work tomorrow, throw those in the dryer and I'm ready to go. I'll rinse out the buckets and boom, shop's ready to go for tomorrow. So it is Friday afternoon. I've got to head home. I've got to edit this video for you guys. It's been a busy day, third car wash today, shot a video for you guys. Still got to go home and edit. Got to do it all again tomorrow. So hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you in the next one soon. Bye-bye.